Okay, now we're recording. All right, welcome to Webinar Wednesday. Again, my name is Carlin Clark. Today we are talking about essential oils and emotions and learning what oils can help us with creating positive mood and just positive interactions with ourselves and with people around us, and also the benefits that oils can have for our brain chemistry and just kind of how our life works around how to deal with these emotions that we feel. So I'm going to put our slide up here. Let me go to share screen, PowerPoint, and here we go. You should be able to see that. So let's put that into slide view. There we go. Okay, so here we go. Let's get started. We have, first of all, I want you to be aware there is a support group on Facebook. It is not my group that I moderate, but it is one that I am a part of, and it's led by Natalie Goddard. She's the one who headed this, and Shree Burton as well. So it's facebook.com/group/essential emotions, and in here you can find, frequently asked questions or pose questions and just get some information. If you need further information on what to do with your oils as far as emotional support goes. I also have my notes handy, so just bear with me while I get those ready to go. Okay, we're ready. Okay, so how would you like to be more happy, more connected, and feel more empowered? Are you ready to feel good more often in your life? And if you are, does that mean you're ready to function more as a whole? Do you feel like sometimes there are parts of you that are spread all over the place, like a little bit spread too thin? I know I feel that way in my life quite often because I have a lot going on. So sometimes it's hard to get the whole self involved or put your whole you into the different aspects of your life that require your presence. So let's see how this works a little bit. So today we're going to learn the science behind our emotions and essential oils and how they affect each other, tools and habits for creating a healthy body chemistry, and just some practical emotional wellness steps that you can take right now today that will help you engage better and to feel happier right away. You are created to function as a whole person, and we have this triangle, your spirit, your mind, and your body, and they are all interconnected. And each of these relies on the other one. So if one of them is out of sync, then it breaks this connection, and our feeling of wholeness. You feel like there's a hole, a hole in your wholeness, if you will. But that break in connection puts. I don't know, it feels like obstacles, I guess is a way to put it. So you feel like you're not operating do you know how it feels like if you had a day where things just go really, really well and things feel really easy and you're in flow, and that's what it's called. People call it flow. When you're in flow, these three things are connected. Your mind, your body, and your spirit are all on the same level as far as where you are, how your body is operating and everything working in tandem together. And when we have that break in that connection, it takes us out of flow and things feel harder and things feel like it takes more energy and it takes more out of us. And our overall wellness starts to deteriorate. So how do we keep those in flow? Your body's made up of a lot of intelligent cells, and each is wired to restore your health. So our bodies are meant to heal and repair ourselves. They're not just floating around doing random jobs. They're very specific jobs that they do. And each of them has a specific purpose. And they're meant to be happy. I guess your cells are meant to be happy. When they're happy, that means they're doing their function properly. If they're unable to do their function properly, you have unhappy cells, for lack of a better way to put it. And those cells kind of create some difficulty in the body. You can be your best advocate and claim your own gift of wellness by doing just a couple of things. see. First of all, emotions are information carrying molecules. And they bind and react to cell receptors, and they get into your cells and they impact the function of the cell and behavior. I've heard it said a couple of times that thoughts are things. This is, I don't know, back, decades ago, emotions were just fluffy, fluffy concepts. But there's now research out there that shows that emotions, when we have emotions, they formulate in our thoughts, and our thoughts are things, and thoughts create physical, chemical responses in our brain. So this is interesting that emotions actually carry information in their molecules, in our molecules. They bind and react with the receptors in our cells, and they get into our cells, and they can impact the function and behavior. So what kind of emotion message are we sending to our cells? So think about that. Emotions are processed throughout the body. We know this if you read the book, what is the book called now? I can't think of it. Somebody will tell me what it is, I'm sure. The one where it talks about how emotions are stored in your body somewhere. If you don't process them, they will be stored for later. So they end up being, stored deeply into the tissues and can create, havoc down the road. This concept of the three brains, science reveals that there's complex neural processing functions in the heart, in the mind, and in our gut. So all three of those areas are related. It's the connection to wellness. So the mind is the logic and the intellect. The subconscious directs over 90% of our behavior. Our heart is our intuition. There are more neural pathways that run to the heart and then to the brain than from the brain to the heart. So that's interesting, isn't it? So there are more neural pathways that run from the heart to the brain than from the brain to the heart. What about the gut feeling? Gut is 90% of your body's serotonin, which is involved in your mood management, and it's produced in the gut. Serotonin is produced in the gut. So you pay attention to that gut feeling. Feelings are really chemicals that can help or they can hurt. That is from neuroscientist Candace Pert. So the three brains communicate with each other, and they feed back to and influence our mind. So there is a connection between our mind and our body emotionally. When we have a life experience, your three brains instinctively process every experience that you have in your life. So in this case, this woman, what kind of experience is she having right now? She's stressed out, right? You can see the stress coming out of her head. The dog's at her, the baby's crying. She's probably on the phone. Who knows? Maybe it's a bill collector that she's speaking to. Our life experience, she's processing, and she's thinking to herself, I've got to figure this out. I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm stuck. How can I help myself? This is how we process that experience. So we have the experience, and then we process the experience, and out come these thoughts. I have to figure this out. I'm stuck. I feel overwhelmed. And then we have a reaction. After we process that, your body knows how to react. You're directing your body by processing these thoughts. The reaction is head starts to hurt. I feel, uncomfortable in my heart, these conflicted feelings. My stomach feels a little bit nauseous. I feel unsettled. You feel disconnected from your body. And then you end up having this odd belief. So from these feelings, you think this chain reaction, this life experience that made you come to this conclusion after processing the feelings that you're having, to feel like I'm disconnected. Maybe you're not good enough. How many of us feel that way when we go through something that's difficult? Your beliefs show up in your life and they create your reality. In this case, she's saying, I'm not good enough because she's not able to handle the situation, and she's having those disconnected feelings that is being processed incorrectly, or the belief coming from it is being processed incorrectly. So what if we tried some essential oils? So if we have balance and frankincense to start with. Balance is one of my favorite ones because it really helps with, hold on a second. I just lost my place in my notes. Okay. But I like it because we call it the grounding blend. The grounding blend is amazing. It does everything. with this emotional support that we need, grounding you to your body, grounding you into your emotions, and getting clear, helping you get clear on what's real and what's perceived. Oftentimes when we experience stress in our life, I know this has happened to me a lot in the past because of my son that has autism. And I immediately jump into the fight or flight mode because I know his needs are so great. But if I'm thinking through it clearly, it's every situation, a little emergency that comes up with him is really, it's okay. It's not really an emergency. Balance, I use a lot. I put that over my heart almost every day, or I put it on my thyroid. I like to have that support there. It makes me feel good. I like to smell it. Gives me a chance to feel more realistic in my experience rather than blowing things out of proportion, which has become a habit when you're dealing with stress over a long period of time. Frankincense, Stewart describes this as like a squeeze for the body, like a squeeze for your muscles, like a big hug. And this gives your muscles a big hug. And I love that description so much. We use frankincense a lot with Zane for his autism for that very reason, because it just somehow it settles the cells. And he is able to feel happier almost immediately, and he feels more connected, and he acts more connected, and he acts more content. And when we use it for ourselves as well, I know Dr. Hill, one of his daily practices is to use frankincense under the tongue every morning, and that creates this beautiful like little support for the cells, not just physically but for emotions as well. Processing through those emotions, frankincense can give you that little added support of that, that feeling of a hug when you're dealing with overwhelm. Emotions and essential oils interact chemically. Let's talk about that for a little bit here. So promoting emotional purification or detoxification, essential oils can also anchor in the healthy body biochemistry. So let me reword that a little bit. When we're talking about promoting purification or detoxification, emotionally speaking, how does that exactly work with oils? We know that there's oils that can detoxify our body like on a cellular basis or a more physiological way, because we know they have certain components in them. But emotionally, sometimes I think we all think emotions are kind of in this cloudy fluff that kind of hover around our head. At least that's how I used to think of them. We don't think of emotions as something physical, but they are actually something physical that react in our bodies. So purifying emotions out of our body can be really, really powerful. And it can create a whole different level of health in your biochemistry. So when we use essential oils like for emotional purpose, so like an essential oil blend like Zendocrine, that's a detoxification blend for, in the real sense of it, in the literal sense of it. Zendocrine is great for it supports the organs, and it helps cleanse and purify our organs and our muscles and our what am I trying to say? The molecular reactions that are going in our body, the functions of the cells. The emotion oils that we use, they create a different kind of response, but toward the same effect. So we're looking at trying to affect the brain and the chemistry in the brain and the cells that we're dealing with the emotions that we're thinking, as a way to purify the thoughts out of our body, or to purify the emotions out of our body as well. So let's look a little bit further into that. 1 drop of essential oils can be 40 million trillion molecules. It can reach that many molecules in your body. That's a lot. These chemical compounds service every cell of the body in a matter of minutes. Oh, excuse me, I read that wrong. 1 drop has 40 million trillion, that's a lot, million trillion molecules in 1 drop. Molecules, not components. These chemical compounds can reach every single cell of the body through just 1 drop of oil. They're really potent and powerful. This is why we teach to use just 1 or 2 drops at a time, because if you're using more than that in one application, you're going to overwhelm your body with all of these molecules. It won't know what to do with it all, so it will flush it out of your body. Essential oils support the cell receptors, promote healthy cell function, and maintain the cell's natural state. this is really awesome. So they support the cell receptors. Let's just talk about that really fast. Every cell has a neuroreceptor that it receives and gives communication. So it expects to have little molecules come and attach to that receptor, deliver its information, and then it passes that information on. And that process sometimes, especially in the case of autism, where these are neural pathways, you know, the highly traveled highways in your brain that send and receive messages. And in the case of autism, that's not always the case. These neuroreceptors don't always respond or function the way they're supposed to, and messages can get lost. Essential oils actually can, if I dare say, heal. They help the body support itself to help that communication, so that those inclinations for that neural pathway to misfire, if you will, doesn't happen as frequently. And we've noticed this. You'll notice that if you use essential oils with anybody with autism or that kind of neuro function or lack of function in their brain, they start to follow directions easier. They start to hear or pay attention a lot better. Sometimes it even helps them to give more speech, but definitely more response, more appropriate response. Essential oils promote healthy cell function. So just because of the molecules, remember, essential oils are organic. So the compounds that are going into the body from that one drop of essential oil are organic, and the body receives it and it wants it. And it knows what to do with everything because it's all familiar to what the body already. So it just picks and chooses what it wants, and it helps create the proper function in the cell. We have obviously this CPTG purity in our essential oils, which we're really, really lucky to have with doTERRA. There's nothing else like it out there on the market. There's no other company that can claim this level of purity and potency and efficacy, for that matter. Every batch of oil that is harvested is tested over 11 different times in 11 different testings to ensure the purity and the potency of these oils. And we do that because we use these oils for our natural medicine. It's important that they are pure, that they are exactly what, the fingerprint that they're harvesting is exactly what it was the last time they harvested it, because we want peppermint to do the same thing for us every single time that we use it. We want to have a consistent experience with our oils, and that can only happen if we are that regimented about the purity and the quality of the essential oils. So peppermint is really great if you are experiencing some cloudiness in your thoughts. It's hard to keep your thoughts together, or you feel like you're spread out everywhere. I know I've been that way in the last couple of days. If you don't get a lot of sleep, use some peppermint to help you pull your thoughts in together and get on top of what's going on in your life. It's mental support and focus, or clearing out that mental fog. Just take a drop in your hand and put it, rub it together and put it over your nose and mouth. Take a couple of deep breaths in, and it will clear that up, those cobwebs out right away. An aromatic way to use oils is one of my favorite things to do. We love the diffusers. I usually have them going in every room, and you can get some really good ones on Amazon that are cheaper than the ones that are on doTERRA, but I didn't say that. But doTERRA has some really good ones too. Did you know that, the aromatic molecules have direct access into the limbic area of the brain? So right, behind your eyes, there is this limbic area, the middle brain. The middle brain is the limbic area, and that's associated with emotions. It's the primitive senses. It's, it's the monkey senses, the animal responses. It responds to pain and pleasure and things like that. It's also where our fight or flight response is at. And smell is the fastest way to affect those moods that happen. So it's our mood emotion center. So it's just so fascinating. So one of the things I learned right away with Zane was that the oils worked really, really fast. And I didn't know why. I was just slapping frankincense on him here or there, because if he was, having a fit and hitting his head on the ground, which was a common thing, before we started with doTERRA, I would grab an oil and just wipe it anywhere. And I eventually figured out that the closer I got it to his smell, to his nose, the faster his response to relax would be. And as I looked into it and researched it, there are transmitters in the nose that accept these molecules from the aroma of the oil that gets put into the air by the diffuser or by putting it in your hands and smelling it. But it attaches to those parts of molecules in your nose, and it carries the message of that oil to the middle of the brain. So let's say, for example, I have my grounding blend Balance, and the components in Balance say, we know that they're meant to calm and soothe and support and create I'm hard to get my words. They create a balanced, grounded feeling. And obviously we put doTERRA's put those oils into that blend in a certain way to create that experience by using that oil. Now, once those molecules and those aroma molecules reach up into the brain, that message about calming and soothing and grounding and feeling content is messaged into the brain. This is the thing that makes this so amazing, is that we have this outer cerebral cortex, right? The gray matter of the brain where all these electrical stimulations are happening. That's what we think of mostly when we think about neural pathways and things like that. And that is our thinking center, and every sense except smell, so our feel, our taste, our touch, everything is processed through that outer cortex. The smell is the only sense that we process through our nose. Like, it's processed through the limbic brain. It skips the outer cortex and goes right into the brain, and it processes quickly. That's why if you ever experience like walking through, like maybe you walked or drove past a farm and you smell that, stinky manure smell, or a skunk that got run over or something, and you notice the smell and immediately you go, ew, and you make this kind of face before you even recognize what the smell is. And the same thing has happened. Or I smell something good, and all of a sudden, maybe it's grandma's cookies that you smell, and you start to feel happy inside even before you recognize what the smell is exactly. You just know that it's something good. It elicits this emotional response before you have a chance to think through what it actually is or what the process is. So in the case of someone with neuro issues like Zane with the autism, smelling it is really phenomenal. It's really, really powerful, because the ability to smell those molecules and have it affect that emotion center of the brain and immediately calm without having to talk him down, without having to say, okay, calm down, let's figure out how we can calm you down. It just starts to happen automatically. So that physical reaction happens automatically before the thinking brain can think through the process to do it. Of course, it happens in split seconds, but it happens nonetheless. So it's kind of like a shortcut, if you will, to how to feel better. Take the shortcut and get some essential oils in your nose and then feel better. And then you can start talking your way into feeling happier, on a more logical standpoint from there. Essential oils are completely dynamic. So they support your body physically and emotionally. They do both. Topically, we apply oils to the bottoms of the feet or to your spine. This way they affect the cells, the blood, the tissues throughout the body. You can massage them into specific areas for more localized support. Like I mentioned, I put Balance over my heart. Of course, if you look back over the heart area and there's more neurotransmitters that go from the heart to the brain, maybe there's a reason why I'm doing that. Maybe I need to help myself feel more calm or more supported. So you can apply over the heart area, inside the wrists, or your perfume points. Apply on the back of the neck, across the forehead. I do like to do that at night with my Serenity. That makes me feel, I don't know, somehow protected or cared for through the night. Some essential oils pass through the blood-brain barrier. Frankincense is one of those, or copaiba. Those you can put on the back of your neck, on the top of your spine there, and to help those absorb into that area. Or you can apply it over the stomach or bottoms of the feet. For occasional head tension, or maybe you have some confusion, past tense is a great oil to use. This one you can just swab wherever you need it. It's also great for tension in the shoulders. I know sometimes with emotions, we can sometimes start to do this, and we kind of tense up and we don't realize we're doing it. And then after a couple of hours, you start to have a really bad neck ache. Internally, our CPTG oils are labeled, some of them are labeled for dietary use, some of them are not. So just read the label, it will say that. Most of them are, and they can be taken under the tongue. If you take it under the tongue, that will give you kind of a sublingual effect. It will go into the bloodstream quickly and bypass the liver, that won't be metabolized in the liver that way. If you take it in water or drink it in a capsule, that will go through the stomach and go through the digestive process, so it will be metabolized through the liver that way. So just be aware of that. But either way, we take them internally because it's another way to support our overall health. Get them in you, on you, or around you is how we like to say it. Somehow get those molecules in your body. For seasonal threats or feeling vulnerable, On Guard is a protective blend. And typically, we look at On Guard as something for immunity. But if you take immunity to the emotion side, there are some things we would like to strengthen our immunity too. Maybe you feel vulnerable, or you have, some weakness or feelings of weakness toward vulnerability, where On Guard can create kind of a barrier against that for you. TerraShield is another one that's really good to help create kind of that protective barrier as well. That's our outdoor blend, which we typically would be using for, gnats and fleas and mosquitoes and things like that outside, but it can also create this emotional shield. So if you have feelings like people are attacking you emotionally or you're feeling attacked emotionally, then On Guard or TerraShield are some great oils you can use to guard you against those attacks or perceived attacks. Cellular support for the three brains. We always tell people the number one thing you need to start with is Lifelong Vitality Pack. There's a reason why this is the number one product that doTERRA sells. It has essential oils infused in them. They are really, really supportive for your body. If we go back to the beginning slides, which I won't go back, but I'll just explain. We had those three areas, the three brains, right? The brain itself, the heart, and the gut, all related. And your body needs support for those things in order for that triangular connection to happen and to stay connected, for you to feel good inside your body and good with your emotions. And we can't feel that way, or that triangle gets separated, if we don't have the right support going on in the body. So it's not just a thinking game. It's not something you can just talk yourself into. You can't just talk yourself into feeling happy. Not necessarily. You need support for that. You need to put something in your body that's going to help you. So if you can think of one habit that most people have, and now I know I have this habit as well, to supplement that, to give that support to the body, what do people normally reach for? We reach for chocolate, right? Especially that one time of the month where we really feel like we need that extra support. We reach for sugar. We reach for something that's going to make us feel good. Sometimes it's drugs that we're reaching for. So there's a better way. So if we supply the body with the nutrition and the support that it needs nutritionally from the get-go, then you're not going to be reaching for those unhealthy remedies. So the alpha-CRS is an antioxidant. It's going to counter any of those free radicals that are happening in your body. It's going to give your body the support it needs for your organs to function properly. The MVP is your vitamin, multivitamin. It has folate in it, not folic acid. So it has the natural form of folate in there. It's super, super beneficial for your brain and your body. And then, of course, we have the Z-Omega, which is your omega fatty acids and essential oil complex in there. And that is completely supportive for the different functions in your body. Together, they work synergistically. So it's important that you take them all together. One feeds the other. It's kind of like magnesium, calcium. You won't absorb one or the other if you don't have both present in the body. So it's really important that you have all of these working together. And that will give you the foundational support of nutrition that your body needs to just get along with its functions. And then on top of that, we use oils to continue extra support. Gut cleansing, you can clear your gut. Sometimes we have a buildup of gunk in our gut that maybe it's there from old medications, maybe it's there from old infections that haven't gone away, or virus or bacteria or whatever. Some of it's good stuff in there. You don't want to clear it out all the way. You want to keep the good bacteria, get rid of the bad infection. So we have a couple of products that work really well to restore gut health. And this helps if you're having digestive problems, if you're having a difficult time absorbing your nutrients, then this is something you might want to look at doing. So we have the lemon in your water. Lemon is purifying. It's also super uplifting emotionally. So citrus oils are then the first thing I would go to want to feel happy. They're bright, they're cheery, just because they're citrusy. You can't smell citrus and not feel happy. That's just impossible. And I dare you to try. I dare you to try, smell wild orange and try to have a negative thought. It's impossible. It can't happen. The PB Assist Plus is our probiotic, and it's really special. It's proprietary formulated. So it's got a capsule inside a capsule, and it has a double release. So it has a release in your stomach, and then it has another release when it gets and reaches your intestines. That's really powerful support, because most probiotics don't have that capability, and they get killed, and the probiotic gets killed in the gastric juices in the stomach. So the PB Assist is super supportive that way, and will help replenish those positive bacteria in your gut very quickly. The GX Assist is a cleanser, so it's going to get rid of all the bad stuff. You use those opposite each other. So you do PB Assist for a week, and then you do GX Assist for a week. And then Terrazyme is our enzyme blend, also a proprietary blend. And it's really, it's a complete enzyme. It has so much, so many good enzymes in there that are present in that enzyme. So it's not just your protease or your lactase or things like that are typical in regular enzymes, but this one has the gamut of enzymes that your body needs to take care of all of its functions. It's recommended that you take that with every meal. If you're having like meat and a starch together, you'll want to have 2 of them. That was recommended. I also recommend that you take it in between your meals. And I do that because of some of the research I've seen with a doctor that does live blood samples and the effect that enzymes can have on your blood without processing food. So it's really a great way to help your blood get healthy and create, some oxygen environment for your blood. And then, of course, the Zendocrine, that's the detoxification blend, which is going to help support your body in getting rid of all the junk that you're clearing out. So that's going to be an important thing that you're going to want to use. And that we can use on the bottom of our feet. You can take it internally as well. So where do we begin? doTERRA has this awesome emotional aromatherapy wheel. So the way we look at this, I don't know if you can see my mouse here, hopefully you can. But if you take a look at the words around here, so don't worry about the oils for right now, but just look at the words and think about, okay, maybe how I'm feeling today. So today, I'm a little tired today because I only got 6 hours of sleep. So it's been hard for me to kind of get up and get moving and get excited, right? So I might go to, I feel a little bit maybe apathetic, maybe a little bit discouraged even. It's discouraging when you're tired and you want to get things done, but can't seem to find the energy or the motivation. So I would kind of look between those 2 words, and then the oil that's closest would be motivate. So motivate would be an oil that I would use to support myself in helping get out of these negative emotions. You can do the same thing. So maybe you love the smell of Console. Okay, and maybe you don't understand why you're so attracted to it. So just take a look at the words, the emotions that are close to Console, and that's could be worried or hurt or maybe grieving or sad. Those things are all part of something that Console can can help support with. So think about that. I'll leave that here for just a minute. Maybe another one. Peace is another one. I love this. This feels like a baby. It smells like a baby to me. Just what a baby would like, baby smell. It's got that really pretty, yummy, I don't know, sweet, comforting kind of smell. It's the reassuring blend, which makes sense if it's going to smell like that. But it deals with feelings of fear and anxiety and insecurity or worry and concern. And those are emotions that probably, as women, probably feel those at least once a day, if not more. Peace is a wonderful thing that we can put in our diffuser to help support those feelings and help dispel those negative feelings. What about habits, and how do your habits affect your lifestyle? So let's talk about that just briefly for a moment. For a healthy mood lifestyle, you need to have a healthy mind, right? Healthy mind, there's things like, I need to work on healthy thought patterns. So if we go back to that slide, I'm not going to go back, but it talked about the experience, what the experience was, and how that person was processing that experience, and then what their belief was because of the experience. And all that was their thoughts. They were creating thoughts that didn't necessarily need to be those thoughts from that experience. So we work on healthy thought patterns and choosing to have, or choosing more positive emotions, or choosing more positive thought processes, thought patterns, rather than going immediately to the negative worst case scenario emotions. That is kind of typical when we feel something, when we feel out of sorts. It sometimes feels like, oh, everything, the world's going wrong, and we throw our hands up and we're like, we start to just kind of give up and feel helpless. But really, that's the easy way out. It's much, much better if we think about it objectively, and we think about, I'm having an experience and it doesn't feel good. I feel uncomfortable. I feel worried and concerned, and all these things are coming up because of the thoughts that we're allowing ourselves to think, like, oh, I'm not going to get my bills paid, or my son's not going to get better, or I'm sick and I don't know how to help myself feel better. There's all kinds of thoughts that are going through our mind that are creating this worst case scenario. If we can work on how we talk to ourselves that way by changing the thought patterns, then we can create a healthier emotional response, or a more positive, healthier response. So choose to believe good about yourself and good about others. There's no point in assuming that everything's bad, because that's just going to create a bad experience for you. So if you care about yourself, then start believing good, that there's good all around you. Nourish your brain with good fats and minerals, and that comes from the Lifelong Vitality Pack, number 1. And number 2, your diet. Start eating healthy diet. Eat more greens. Eat more vegetables. We already know this, so there's no point, belaboring that point. For a healthy mood lifestyle, what about your heart? Learning to trust your intuition better, learning to lean into a higher power, into God, or however you believe. Trusting, that there's a purpose to who you are and what you are for. Freely giving and receiving love. It's sometimes when we feel hurt, or, which has come from an unhealthy thought process, the hurt makes us keep love to ourselves, because we're afraid that we'll get hurt again. That makes sense. If anybody's been through a breakup, a relationship breakup, you've definitely felt this, where you need to retreat for a while, and that's okay. Just retreat for a while. But when you come back out and you're ready to face the world again, look at it through the eyes of love, giving love and receiving love. Sometimes it's easier to give love than it is to receive the love. And that comes back to choosing to believe good about yourself, that you deserve. One of the things that's good that you should believe is that you deserve to receive love from everyone around you. Often feeling peaceful inside, and I rest well. So that's an affirmation that you can give yourself. I trust my intuition and my higher self, or my higher power. I freely give and receive love. I often feel peaceful inside. I rest well. So work on these affirmations. You can write these down or take a little snapshot of these and use these every day. I work on healthy thought patterns. I choose to believe good about myself and others. I nourish my brain with good fats and minerals. What about healthy gut and mood lifestyle? digesting and processing food. I digest and process food well. There's, let's get rid of the fear that we have over some of the foods that we eat. I think our nutrition industry has scared us quite a bit over the different things that are available and which way we should go. Should we eat keto? Should we do low carb? Should we do, I'm afraid to eat a potato these days, because I don't want to get fat from it. But it's just kind of a little bit over the top. And I think maybe most of us would agree with that. Let's think about having a healthier thought process through these emotions that we feel. I digest and process food well. Doesn't really matter. Maybe I'll have the potato for dinner and it will be okay. It still has nutrition in it, right? Even if it's a white potato. I nourish my digestive system with good nutrition and enzymes. This is good. Positive thought affirmations so that I can trust my body to do the job function that it's meant to do. If I'm giving it the good nutrition, then trust that it's going to react properly. If you're feeding it really well, if you're feeding your body the healthy foods and you're exercising it, you're going to drop the weight. It will happen because you're nourishing yourself. So it's just kind of a trust exercise, isn't it? How do you trust yourself? How do you trust your body? There's some emotions definitely mixed up in this that we need to learn how to trust. If we go back to our wheel here, what are some of these emotions that might deal with trust issues that you could think of? Maybe this insecure or anxiety, fearful, worried, even ashamed, angry, bitter, discontent. Maybe forgive is a great oil that you could use in your weight loss journey. And, you diffusing that, putting it on you, getting it around you, and start forgiving yourself, forgiving people around you, forgiving your body. It sounds kind of, a little bit crazy, but yeah, it can help. Why not? And peace, maybe you can comfort yourself, reassure yourself that it's going to be okay, that if you do what you know is the right thing to do to nourish your body, that it's going to work. Your body's going to show up for you. My body is healthy and it feels good. These are great affirmations. So what do we need to weed out? So let's weed out the negative thoughts, get rid of some, toxic relationships, get out of those, get rid of the substances that are not helping us, that are harmful to our body. What do we want to plant? We want to plant new beliefs, new relationships, and supplement our diet properly. And how are you going to nourish the seed that you're planting? By committing to daily habits and practices and creating patterns in your life that are positive. Giving those positive affirmations, say them out loud. I am enough. I am whole, just as I am. You fill a bucket drop by drop. You clear your mind thought by thought. You heal yourself moment by moment. I love this quote because this is a step-by-step process. Healing yourself emotionally is a step-by-step process. It's not an overnight thing. As much as I want to lose weight, I've got like 50 pounds I have to lose that I want to lose. And I've held on to it for over a decade because I've been too afraid to let go of it for reasons I'm not even sure of. But I like this quote so much because it relates to people like me in my situation where if I let go of it too quickly, it will create insecurity. If I change too drastically, it's going to be hard to maintain. So this is about doing things step by step, baby step by baby step, drop by drop, thought by thought, moment by moment. And if we are aware of those things and we're using oils drop by drop, we're working on our thought patterns, thought by thought, and we're evaluating our moment by moment, then our change will gradually start to happen. And before you know it, a month later, 2 months later, 3 months later, you've become a very different person. You're handling your life very differently. You're handling your emotions very differently, much more positive because you've brought in those positive habits and, what do we say, practices and patterns into your life to create a permanent change. So looking at what we have to offer. So if you're not a member with doTERRA already, this is for you. You'll be interested in this. The Natural Solutions Kit this one that's $5.50 is an amazing kit. This is the one that we recommend to everybody who's getting started that wants to have a complete overhaul of their medicine cabinet, their whole practice. It gives you the 10 essential oils plus a couple of extra emotion oils in there. You have the On Guard products that are going to give you the immunity support, even your Terrazyme there. You have the Clary Calm Women's Blend, which is amazing for that time of the month. I promise you, it'll help your emotions like totally level out. Past tense and Correct-X. You get a diffuser with it. And of course, the most important thing I think for everybody is this Lifelong Vitality Pack. So you have foundation to work from. So if that's an oil kit, if you're looking to overhaul your whole system, that you have in place and just get into a new pattern, new system, this is what I would start with. If you're looking at just working on emotions, just working on the brain, part of the emotions itself, the emotional aromatherapy kit is the next one I would recommend. That gives you all of the oils that are in this. Let me go back in the wheel here. So you get all 6 of those, and the wheel comes with it. So you have the wheel so you can look at what oil you need for what emotion that you're feeling, and then you have the diffuser so you can get it aromatically into that limbic part of your brain. So it's a brilliant kit. The Cleanse and Restore kit, obviously that we're working on the gut health in this one. So we want to provide good nutrition with the LLV, and then it's going to give you everything that you need to clear out all the bad bacteria, all the, the infection and whatever else that might be going on in your intestines that's causing problems there. Then we have also Home Essentials kit, which is like the basic family kit, but in the big size. The Family Physician kit is your basic family kit in the small size. And then we have an Every Oil kit, which is exactly as it says, it's every oil. And then we have a Diamond kit, which is every single product plus extras to share. And then you can choose what's right for you. There's a smart way to buy. doTERRA has a savings program. It's called Loyalty Rewards. It provides you 10 to 30% back in product credit every time you purchase, and it just increases month by month. So every month that you purchase on Loyalty Rewards, you increase, you maintain or increase your product credit percentage. So that's a great way. So for example, if you're going to buy 100 PV of oils, that's about $100 in 1 month, you're going to get up to 30% back, which is $30 back in product credits. So you get to go shopping with those product credits and buy whatever you want. So for me, when I started out, Melissa was an oil that I wanted to have really badly, but it cost, I think, $100 at the time, or $125, I forget what it is. And I saved up my points over several months and then used my points to buy the Melissa oil. So choose your kit, and then you'll get a free wellness live guide here and then we'll do a wellness consultation with you. We'll set up a 90-day health plan for you so you can gear the oils that you're buying to exactly what your needs are, and you know exactly what to do month by month, and then we check on you each month and see how it's going. And after the 90 days, we'll come back and reevaluate it and see how it's going, and if we need to revise things or implement something new for you, or if there's a new goal that you want to work on because you accomplished you reached your health goal. We'll also send you a Share doTERRA guide that will be, if you're interested in sharing doTERRA with other people. A lot of people like to host classes with us, and they get free products for doing that, or giving us referrals. We give free products to people who give us referrals, so keep that in mind. And if it's something that you want to do as a business for yourself and create your own essential oils business, we would love to partner with you, and we will help you get started with that. We have a product price list here as well, which will come in your enrollment form. So you can see basically what the difference is between retail versus wholesale, what the PV cost means here. And then of course the enrollment forms look like this. There's a wellness advocate option. That's for somebody who wants to be a business person and grow a business with doTERRA. And then there is also, where did it go? I can't find it now. There's a wholesale customer, which gives you the same benefits, but without having to build the business. So you still get the same discounts and rewards and savings program on the wholesale member account. So here's some things that you can take a look at. One thing I will recommend is this Emotions and Essential Oils book. There's a new edition out now, so it looks a little bit different than this, but this one you can buy it at aromatools.com, or I think My Oil Life or something like that. But it's definitely, you want to have that. It's really, really well researched, and it has amazing perspective on the emotional components of each of the essential oils that we have. And then we have these others here, so you can take a look at these different resources for you there. The Molecules of Emotions, okay, another one that you should take a look at because it talks about the science of it. Okay, these are the handouts. There's a class handout. If you would like a handout from this class over the things that we've covered, just put a message in the link below or send a message to me and I will get it to you. Let's see. Handouts, there's a class handout if you would like it. That's me talking. I'm trying to find, hang on, messages from there because I can't see the messages right now. Morning from Canada. Thank you, Debbie. Thanks for tuning in, and Renata and Sheila. Wonderful to have you guys tuning in. Okay, these class handouts you can buy at Aromatools, and they're pretty cheap. So if you want to share those with other people and teach them how to deal with their emotions using essential oils, this is a really great way to share that. And that is the conclusion of our PowerPoint anyway. Be your own best advocate and claim the gift of wellness. Love it. Okay, let me come out of my screen. Okay, I don't want to share the screen. How do I go? Am I stopping the share? I can't remember. I can't see if I have or not. Okay, anyway. I'll figure this thing out. All right, so that's Webinar Wednesday. I'll wrap it up here. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments. And take care of yourselves emotionally. Give yourselves the nutrition that you need. Use essential oils that are going to be part of your goal for the health goals that you have. So as you have your health goals, let's say like your goal is to lose weight. We already know physically what you need to do for that. You need to exercise and eat right and all of that, sleep, all of that. But what about the emotional part of that? So think about oils that you can use that can support your weight loss goal. Things like maybe this lemon sassy that helps you feel confident when you drink it, while it's also helping to pull some of the toxins out of the cells and flush them out of the body. What about the Balance Grounding Blend? We talked about that one. To help you feel more capable during the day, while you're going through this process of having to concentrate so hard on, fixing the right meals and things like that. Or the Emotional Wheel, okay? Those 6 emotional aromatherapy oils are amazing. They give you amazing support. So maybe it's like, when you're losing weight, it sucks. You feel like crap. You don't want to do it. And you start noticing all the flaws that you have when you look in the mirror. Maybe Forgive is a good oil to get on and around you so that you can start feeling happy with yourself there. So that's my advice for the day. So find your emotional support, because that's important. Our emotions create thoughts. Thoughts are things. Things get stored in the body. Let's make them positive. All right. Have a great day. We'll see you next week.